प्रथम ओडिया उपन्यास पद्मावली 1888। रमेश सरकार 6/8/1897 फकीरमोहन। मतांतर पद्ममाली रमेश सरकार मतांतर। सत्ययुग उपन्यास अवकाश चिंता गंगाधर मेहर। मेरे प्रकृति कवि राधानाथ राय 1866-1900 युग। विदेश विलास उपेन्द्र भंज उपाधि कवि सम्राट। रसकल्लोल दीनकृष्ण दास रसकल्लोल। पंचसखा बलराम दास जन दास। शाला महाभारत विशेष ओडिया महाभारत ओडिया प्रथम महाकाव्य शाला महाभारत। शाला दास पंचदश प्रथम थर ओडिया खबर कागज दैनिक आशा। उत्तर दीप 866 गौरशंकर राय। खबर कागज ओडिया मैगजीन 1861 बौद्धदायिनी। प्रथम ओडिया मुद्रित पुस्तक नूतन नियम 1807 श्रीरामपुर मिशन। श्रीरामपुर ओडिया मुद्रित पुस्तक नूतन नियम। ओडिया लिपिर उत्पत्ति ब्राह्मी लिपि कलिंग लिपि दे ओडिया भाषा को स्मारकीय मान्यता मिला। शास्त्रीय 2014। ओडिया भाषा क्यों भाषा परिवार इंडो आर्य। वन सिचुएशन हेल्स अनदर। ट्रांसफर ऑफ लर्निंग पॉजिटिव when learning is one situation helps another. Learning curve initially steep, then learning curve initially steep, late. Motivation types intrinsic extrinsic. Maslow hierarchy highest need. Self actualization. Self actualization. Creative test by Torrance. Creative test. Gifted children above 130. Gifted children. Creative test by Torrance. Creative test Torrance. Maslow hierarchy has to meet self actualization. Gifted children IQ above 130. ADHD full form attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. Attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. Hyperactivity disorder. ADHD full form attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. Math disability dyscalculia ADHD attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. Creative test होती Torrance. Creative test Maslow hierarchy. Dyscalculia is related to math disability. Dyscalculia. Dysgraphia is related to writing disability. Dysgraphia. Writing disability. Dysgraphia is related to writing. Dysgraphia related to writing disability. Dysgraphia, writing disability. Dyslexia is related to reading disability. Dyslexia, reading disability. RPWD, Rights a Person with Disability Act. Rights a Person with Disability Act 2016. Rights a Person with Disability Act. Inclusive education means educating CWSN with normal children in some class. Inclusive education means inclusive education. Assessment of learning and end of term. End of term. Inclusive education. Summative assessment is assessment of learning. Summative. At the end of term. Summative. Summation. Inclusive education means educating CWSN. Normal children in same class. CWSN. Summative assessment of learning at the end of OTET, Odisha Teacher Eligibility Test, end of term. Formative assessment is formative assessment for learning during instruction. Assessment for learning during instruction formative. CC instruction की time assessment. CC full form continuous and comprehensive evaluation. Continuous comprehensive. Elaborate. 2009 people teacher ratio 30:1. People teacher 30:1. Article 2009 article. Act. Article 21 free and compulsory education 6 to 14 years. People teacher ratio primary. 2009 article 21 free and compulsory education. Foundation stage is 3 to 8 years. Anganwadi to grade 2. Foundation stage. NAV 20 school structure 5, 3, 8, 3, 11, 4. Foundational, preparatory, middle, secondary. Foundational, preparatory, middle, secondary. NCF 2005 guiding principle include NCF learning without burden, connecting knowledge to life. phone hello. Guiding principle include connecting knowledge to life. Learning with NCF learning without burden. Guiding principle include connecting knowledge to life. Learning without burden. Connecting knowledge to life. Connecting knowledge to life. NCF. Knowledge to life, connecting knowledge to life. Basic education craft center 714. Basic education craft center for 17 to 14 years. Basic education Vardha scheme Gandhi 1937. Basic education Vardha schemes Gandhiji 1937. Basic education craft center 17 to 14. Basic education craft center. Basic education Vardha scheme Gandhiji 1937. Basic education heuristic method by Armstrong. H.E. Armstrong, you found out. Steps of project method. 4 steps of project method: proposing, planning, executing, judging. 4 steps of project method. 4 steps of project method: proposing, planning, executing, judging. Execute, judging. Project method by William Kilpatrick. Playway method by Caldwell Cook in India. H. Froebel. Montessori method age group 3 to 6 years. Sensorial materials. Sensorial materials. William Kilpatrick. Learning by doing emphasized by John Dewey. Kindergarten system Froebel. Learning by doing emphasized by John Dewey. Playway method by Caldwell Cook. Inside learning gestalt. Learning by doing emphasized by color theory. Inside learning gestalt. Learning by doing emphasized by John Dewey. Kindergarten system founded by Froebel. Kindergarten Froebel. Playway method by Caldwell Cook. Bobodol experimented by Albert Bandura. Bobodol experimented by Albert Bandura. Color theory inside learning gestalt. Bobodol experiment. Kindergarten system founded by Froebel. Playway method Caldwell. Montessori method 3 to 6 years. Sensorial materials. Project method William Kilpatrick. 4-step project method: proposing, planning, executing, judging. Heuristic method H.E. Armstrong. Basic education Vardha scheme Gandhiji 7 to 14 years. Craft centered for Bobodol experiment. Colors theory inside learning gestalt. Learning by doing emphasized by John Dewey. Kindergarten system founded by Froebel. Bobodol experiment Albert Bandura. Colors theory inside learning gestalt. Learning by doing emphasis by John Dewey. Albert Bandura. Kindergarten system bounded by Probel. Lowell's method. Cook in India. Bobodol. Albert Bandura. Bobodol experiment by Albert Bandura. Colors theory, inside learning gestalt. Inside learning gestalt. Learning by doing emphasis by. Bandura theory. Social learning, observational learning. Bandura theory. Social theory. Observational learning, Bandura theory. Positive reinforcement means adding stimulus to increase behavior. Bandura theory, social learning, observational learning. Operant conditioning. Skinner's theory. Operant conditioning, Skinner theory. Positive reinforcement means adding stimulus to increase behavior. Child development. Growth is quantitative while development is qualitative. Growth quantitative. With development is qualitative and quantitative development. Cephalocaudal principle means development of a process form. Cephalocaudal. Proximal distance principle means development from proximal distal principle. Center to periphery. Proximal distal principle means development from. Heredity is determined by. Center of periphery. Proximal distal principle. Proximal distal principle means development from center to periphery. Heredity is determined by genes chromosome. Environment includes all external factors after conception. Environment includes all external factors after conception. All external factors. Piaget stage 0 to 2 years. Piaget. Sensory motor stage. Piaget stage 0 to 2 years. Sensory motor stage. Piaget stage 0 to 2 years. Object permanence develops in sensory motor stage 8 to 12 months. Proximal distal means development from center to periphery. Heredity determines genes chromosome. Environment includes all external factors. Piaget stage 0 to 2 years. Sensory motor. Object permanence. Object permanence develops in. Object permanence.
Good boy. तो बाबा पाठ पढ़ी को करे हस मत देखी
Object permanence develops in.
पढ़ी तो बाबा देखी तो बाबा एकडे पढ़ी दी तू सेपटे पढ़ी तो बाबा एकडे पढ़ी
Object permanence develops. Sensory motor stage.
चाकरी करो हमको पैसे देबे हम खर्च करियो
Sensory motor stage 8 to 12 month.
देखी देखी कोण बाबा
Object permanence develops. Object permanence develops. Object permanence develops. Object permanence develops. Sensory motor stage 8 to 12. Permanence develops in sensory motor stage 8 12 month. Paper stage to 7 years. Preparation pre-operational stage. Object permanence develops in sensory motor stage. Sensory motor stage 8 to 12 months. Piaget stage 2 to 7 years. Pre-operational stage. Egocentrism is a feature of. Object permanence develops in. Eight to 12 months. Object permanence. Piaget stage 2 to 7. Pre-operational stage. Egocentrism feature of pre-operational stage. Egocentrism. Ego. Ahambhav. Pre-operational. Object permanence develop. Object permanence. Sensory motor at 8 to 12. Sensory motor. Piaget stage. Sensory motor 0 to 2 years. Conservation concept develops in conservation. Concrete operation stage 7 to 11. Piaget final stage 11 plus. Formal operation stage. Formal operational. Vygotsky JPT stands for zone of proximal development. Zone of proximal development. MKO in Vygotsky theory. More knowledge other. Scaffolding concept given by. Scaffolding concept. Jerome Brunner based on Vygotsky. Kohlberg moral development has how many levels? More knowledge are there. Scaffolding concept given by Jerome Brunner based on Vygotsky. Kohlberg moral development. How many levels? Kohlberg moral development. 3 levels, 6 stages. Good boy, good girl. Orientation is stage 3 conventional level. Kohlberg moral development 3 levels, 6 stages, 3 levels. Scaffolding concept given by Jerome Brunner. Erikson psychosocial stage. Trust versus mistrust. Identity versus role confusion age. 12 to 18 years adolescence. Role confusion identity. IQ MA by CA into 100. William Stern. IQ classification 90 to 109. Average intelligence. William Stern IQ classification 90 to 109. Average intelligence Gardner's multiple intelligence total. Average intelligence Gardner's multiple intelligence total. 8 types latter 9. Gardner's multiple intelligence total. 8 types, that 9. Linguistic intelligence permanent. Linguistic intelligence permanent in poets, writers. Linguistic intelligence permanent in poets, writers, speakers. Emotional intelligence item by Peter Salovey, John Mayer, popularized by the Daniel Goleman. Thorndike law of effects belongs to trial and error theory, trial error, Thorndike. Pavlov experiment dog is example of Pavlov experiment. Classical conditioning. UCS is Pavlov experiment. UCS. Food unconditioned stimulus. Food unconditioned stimulus. UCS Pavlov experiment. Skinner's theory. Operant conditioning. Food and unconditioned stimulus. Food unconditioned stimulus. Operant condition is Skinner theory. Positive reinforcement means adding stimulus to increase behavior. Stimulus to increase behavior. Mandira theory, social learning by observation learning. Mandira. Bobo Doyle, Albert Bandura. Bobo Doyle. Q. Kohler's theory, inside learning gestalt. Learning by doing, emphasized by John Dewey. Learning. Kindergarten system found by Prof. Bell. Learning by doing, emphasized by John Dewey. Kohler, inside learning. Play with method, Caldwell Cook. Montessori method, 3 to 6 years, sensorial method. Project method, William Kilpatrick. First test project method. Heuristic method, Armstrong. Basic education. And then 1937, basic education, 7 to 14 years.